So I just saw this new video of Garland Farms, and I had planned before to make a video on Garland Farms. Maybe you don't know, I'm a farmer too, but a vegan farmer, and I see Garland Farms as pushing strongly that there is such a thing as a vegan agenda. And by the way, it's a no hate video, because Garland Farms always was very helpful for me when I was a carnivore person. And I became a farmer while carnivore, but this experience led me to the, I got a different perspective, different experience, and it just led me to go vegan. But I haven't watched also this video of Garland Farms, so I'm watching it now first time with you guys, and I want to tell you my opinion.
This is the plan that I've repeatedly warned about, to take the tools of oppression used to tackle the coronavirus and use them all, lockdowns, forced business closures, exclusion zones, isolation. We heard Angela Marsden earlier, businesses shut down, isolation at home, all of that, all of those measures, including destroying private property rights and private income in order to tackle the climate crisis.
Now is the historical moment, the time, not only to fight the virus, but to shape the system.
We have a unique but rapidly shrinking window of opportunity to learn lessons and reset ourselves on a more sustainable path. It is an opportunity we have never had before and may never have again. So we must use all the levers we have at our disposal, knowing that each and every one of us has a vital role to play.
The Great Reset is a welcome recognition that this human tragedy must be a wake-up call. It is imperative that we reimagine, rebuild, redesign, reinvigorate and rebalance our world. Rebalancing investment, harnessing science and technology, and advancing the transition to net zero emissions, all elements of the Great Reset, are fundamental to building the future we need.
And that last one was the clown Guterres, who was at the Climate Ambition Summit, telling us the world is going to cook by 3.5 degrees or something by the end of the century. Yeah, right. This Great Reset is as serious and as dangerous a threat to our prosperity, to your prosperity and your freedom, as we have faced in decades, with these powerful bodies, including the World Economic Forum, the United Nations, the International Monetary Fund, and even Prince Charles boasting, yes, boasting that within a few short years, yes, their words, you will own nothing. And
maybe Prince Charles was pushed for this. I think so, but yeah, of course. By the way, I don't see any, so far veganism, but let's watch. It's like almost 2 minutes.
You will be happy. Remember, this is not me saying this. This is them. They are even running ads for the Great Reset.
So you guys see, run away from the city. Run away from the cities, for sure. Oh, if you like this kind of life, of course, stay.
A handful of countries will dominate. I wonder which ones they might be. A terrifying coalition of big business, big tech, and left-wing totalitarians are so confident and so brazen. I mean, they just stole the US election, so I guess they're feeling pretty chuffed with themselves, that they are now promising you will own nothing and you will be happy. What they should have added is, and we, the very rich, will own everything and be even happier. Of course they will. The great tragedy here is that Prince Charles is involved in this fascist, corporatist global push and is...
I wish to listen whole speech of Prince Charles, because he is not a part of these people who are heartless clique, which wants to, international clique that wants to, and take control. But it's not about only control, but it's kind of having pleasure, by by to make some, you know, I don't know, just to have a pleasure, just to, you know, mock on us and just to torture us in any way.
Thereby putting our entire constitutional monarchy...
Or like bullying, you know, they would, but I don't believe Prince Charles, but I will research for this, for sure. Because this message here is from mainstream, yeah, you see like Sky News, and I don't trust them that they say something like this, you know, like they criticize, they make a critique for this idea of climate change.
At risk. Queen Elizabeth, please give the bloke a punt. It is critical, and I urge you to write to your MPs over the holidays to insist that no Australian public servant or member of parliament, no individual on the Australian public purse attends the World Economic Forum in Lucerne in May, which is where this obscenity is scheduled to begin. Please write to your MPs and tell them. And you think I'm just imagining this stuff? Crazy old Rowan with his conspiracy theories? Think again. This garbage is already deeply embedded into our state and federal governments. I've spoken before about the insidious phrase "build back better," which sounds like common sense, but is in fact just one of several slogans for the Great Reset. Another being the Orwellian phrase, the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Here's old Klaus again, minus the white cat on his knee, telling us all about the Fourth Industrial Revolution.
The fourth industrial revolution will impact our lives completely. It will not only change how we communicate, how we produce, how we consume, it will change actually us, our own identity, and of course gives life to such policies and developments like smart traffic, smart government, smart cities. What we will see is that everything will be integrated into an ecosystem driven by big data and driven particularly by close cooperation also of governments with business, civil society, and this revolution.
I didn't hear one time about veganism, by the way, nothing. So, but we have another 3 minutes here.
It will come at a breathtaking speed. It will be like a tsunami.
Like a tsunami in the Fourth Industrial Revolution, you will own nothing, but you will be happy. That is an order. It gets worse. The World Economic Forum are now blatantly saying capitalism needs a dose of Marxism. As I say, it's not like they're hiding their sinister intentions. Indeed, I was horrified when an outsider fan last week sent me this document from the Australian government. Quote, "Preparing for the Future, Industry 4.0 Test Labs in Australia, a strategic initiative of the Prime Minister's Industry 4.0 Task Force. Section 1, Significance of the Fourth Industrial Revolution." Unbelievable. So, may I respectfully remind the Prime Minister there is...
So, as you know, the previous industrial revolutions was nothing, just... Like, what they want to do is collectivization, right? So, collectivization is taking everything from people, including farms, including land, including everything from people. This is collectivization, which in the previous, you know, cases of in the history, it was just to make people starving, and that's it, to, you know, take everything from them and make them fully dependent, and of course, destroy most of these people.
Nothing in the Great Reset that is in Australia's national interest. Australians did not vote for a dose of Marxism in our capitalism. Speaking of Marxists, on this show this year, we also brought Dan Andrews' insidious Belt and Road dealings with Communist China to national attention thanks to my exclusive interview with US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, which led, as I predicted last week, to the passing of the government's Foreign Relations Bill. Again, congratulations to the Prime Minister and the government for that one important piece of legislation. If the Prime Minister is true to his words and only listens and answers to the quiet Australians who elected him, then he can comfortably look forward to re-election, possibly even next year. But if he is seduced by the siren voices of the virtue signalers of the international forums of the global warming alarmists and their doomsday predictions of the greedy renewable investors within his own party, who fraudulently claim that they are saving the planet when all they are doing is enriching themselves.
So, you know, they don't speak anything about veganism, of course, because veganism, dear Garland Farms, you have no idea what is veganism. Veganism is when you feel that this animal or even human, yes, has right to be alive, and this animal body belongs to this animal, belongs to this human, and I don't touch it to put in my stomach, yes? I choose plants, food from kingdom plants, to put in my stomach. I don't put animals because of empathy. So empathy is when you can feel, when you can imagine how it is to be in the body of another person or another animal. This is empathy, and veganism is about this, dear Garland Farms. Do you have this feeling in yourself, by the way? Do you know what this is? Or like you don't have an idea? I don't know. It's a not hate video, but you know, I don't know. It's a part of education. Education also teaches about this. You know, it's about morals. In Poland, in my country, I learned about all these things, and it led me to be like this. So, where is veganism? Why you use in your videos to mislead people? Why you are doing it? Why you never try vegan diet for 2 weeks, proper vegan diet, and come to people with feedback, or even try it for 7 days? Why not? You haven't tried in your life, and you speak against. And you know, one day you're gonna understand that you were wrong.
Themselves at the expense of the poorest among us. Indeed, if he puts the interests of the elites over the basic everyday interests of the average Aussie, it will not end.
So they are misleading you because they speak about elites. It's not such a thing as elites. These people here on television, they exactly know who is the people. And it's not elites, because people who are elites, they don't do things like these people do, because these people are just doing things like in civilized Western world are unacceptable. So it's not. So these people in television, they are trying to fool you. That you see, they are trying to fool you that they are against some, mainstream. Yeah, they are trying to tell you that they are independent, right? So they are making this kind of speech here.
But I am an optimist, and I believe Mr. Morrison understands that Australia rejects the reset.
It's at the end, what the fourth industrial revolution will lead to is a fusion of our physical, our digital, and our biological identities.
No, mate, not in Australia, it won't. Rack off, Klaus.
Oh, Garland's my fucking god. He's my Jesus. He's my earthling head. He's like anti-vegan earthling head.
So he's using word vegan, and we couldn't hear one time in all this video about veganism. They use veganism as a cover. They won't take vegans with them, right? They want to mislead them. They think it is something for the planet. So they use this, they want to attract all the kind of groups to get into their trap. So Garland Farms, you are doing over and over again the same thing, and I already invited you to debate, but you don't want, because you are a coward, yes? Because you don't want to speak with the lady, which is also farmer, and I'm educated farmer, and I was a carnivore, and I tried so many things in my life, and I have this big perspective, and your viewers are usually city people. So because of your videos here, when you put, kind of misleading title like this even, you just make people stay away from veganism. And you know that what leads eating meat leads just to disease, and I'm gonna prove it in my next video that there is no meat eater who didn't end up sick or dead very quickly.